moon.
Hello there, and welcome to That's No Moon and Yavin Base pre-Worlds tournament. I am speaking to Kevin Jones, who, as much as he sounds British, he's actually really representing Team Netherlands. Um, I'll let him explain. Kev, how you doing?
Hey Cockles, hi. I'm doing well, thanks, mate. Yeah.
Good, good,
How about
good.
yourself?
Oh, you know me, plodding along, thinking of karaoke, all that sort of stuff.
Good man.
Um, so I've obviously revealed your name. You're Kev Jones. Where are you from? Both places, please.
Well, I'm originally from Shropshire. I'm a Shropshire lad, born and raised. But 20 years ago, I took the plunge and actually moved to the Netherlands. So now I'm residing in a small city just 20 minutes outside of Amsterdam.
Nice. Um, and the uniqueness to you playing is that you've had the joy of playing in many an event, in an international event, and well, it's international if you travel, like quote unquote, home, and that's where we've crossed paths. We've never actually been able to play each
Exactly.
other, which is annoying, but there we go. Um, but yeah, we've met at MKGT. We've played in Germany. You've sung a brilliant rendition of "Enjoy the Silence" by The Cure.
Depeche Mode.
Depeche Mode, excuse me, Depeche Mode. So yes, that's all good fun. And then, but you're going to talk. You will be coming more from a perspective of Legion in the Netherlands as opposed to Legion in the UK. What's Legion like in the Netherlands?
It's booming. There's two stores that I go to play local tournaments. I'll give them a shout out at the end. But you have to get in early, otherwise the 14 spaces in each go very quickly.
Are you
Um,
the sole representative of Dutch Legion Force this year, or is there anyone else coming from the Netherlands?
oh no, there's three native Dutch people, so which is great. Um,
Who
so
are who
I'm
are who are they? If they're just who are they? Just out of interest.
yeah, we've got Bart, we've got Rutger, and we've got Luke.
Nice,
So yeah, three guys that play in the local tournaments. I cross paths with them very often.
perfect.
Um, Good guys, and luckily then, because there's three native Dutch coming along, I can step back and join Team UK.
Oh, look at that. Look how that works. He renounces his Dutchness and comes back to Team UK. Um, on that note, then, have you decided your faction and what list you're running?
I have. I am going to stick with what I know and stick with what got me into Worlds,
Oh, that's an
which
Empire list
is
for sure, then.
Empire, and
Yep.
it's Blizzard Force.
Is it the Blizzard Force that Ollie runs, or is it a different variant?
It's a slightly different variant. I've played about with different versions of Blizzard Force, and I've settled on one where I have one medbot. So it's a traditional one with the four bikes, Commander Vader, um, two snows, two HRUs. I've got one medbot on the snow, and both snows have portable scanners to give Vader dodges.
Hmm.
Um, and Vader has burst, push, and I've just started to run him with choke again.
Oh,
Before he had force reflexes, but I've um, changed things up a little bit. I got rid of a transponder off one of the bikes and gave him choke.
what was the logic in
Um,
that, or the theory in that, I should say?
it's more for hostage, leaving one unit that I can just dispose of with choke quickly. And also, actually, um, if I do get buried in a clone ball, getting rid of arcs is quite hard, and
Hmm.
it's quite painful for a clone player to just lose an arc.
Yeah,
So it's
especially
actually it's aimed at
especially
hostage and at arcs.
especially when arcs are. If you an arc with a heavy is 4 man, if you just choke one mini, that's 25% of it. That's it's pain. Yeah, you're right. That is painful.
It's a lot of points. So that's the theory behind it, anyway.
That's cool. Um, so when you've played games, and I know you've played Empire quite a bit, what are your strengths in your style of play? Do you do well with a gun line, or are you more of a tricksy player? What do you do well? What do you and your style of play, what do you do well?
Um, Normally I play a force user. I like to have a force user, but I also like to have a little bit of range. So often I've matched Vader and Bosk, played them a lot. It's what I've been playing in the local tournaments at the moment. Um, I've played a lot of the Blizzard Force list that I'm playing now. So I went to a tournament this weekend and I just played a fun list. It was actually Krennic, a hodgepodge of different things. I didn't do
Nice.
very well, but uh, I, I'm how can I say? I change up how I play with Blizzard uh, against what list I've got. So if it's something that's got a lot of PS like Rebels, then I'm more aggressive with it. I need to kill stuff before it kills me from a range.
Hmm.
If I'm playing something like clones, I'm going to be more cautious and a bit more of an Ollie style, standing off and going in late. So I think the trick with Blizzard is learning what to do and when.
Hmm.
And I'm definitely not there fully. I do get surprised by lists still, but the more practice you do with it, the more competitive practice, the more you learn which lists you need to dive in against
Yeah.
and which list you need to sit off against. And
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 with
the games I lose afterwards, I know I was either too passive or too aggressive.
and with that in mind, what are the weaknesses either in your game or in the list you've got? Obviously, Blizzard is quite a good all-rounder, but what might be the weaknesses you would envisage coming up at Worlds?
Terrain.
Oh,
I
okay.
am really concerned about the terrain. I saw a post recently saying, "Oh, thank you, another podcast for giving us another table." And I looked at the table and I thought, "Where's half of the terrain? It was very empty in the middle." So poor old Vader has to rush across a very open space. Hopefully he's got lots of dodges when he's doing it.
Play for Long March. No, still the middle, I suppose, isn't it? Yeah.
But
Is that
that's what worries me the most, actually. Yeah.
no, that's kind of interesting. So going into games you've played, what's one of your most favorite moments, one of your memorable moments in a game?
Oh, that's a good question. Um, I think there's a few. I did really well recently in Denmark, um, and met some fantastic people. I think generally the people you play against. Um, I can't say that I played another Blizzard Force list, and we were identical.
Oh yeah,
There was just a couple of upgrade differences, and we both set up very similar. But I just noticed he placed a bike just a little bit too close and was able to pick it off.
yep,
And then it became a bike off. And as soon as I killed the last of his bikes, he said, "Oh, that's it, you've won." It was
yeah,
breakthrough, and I still had two bikes left, two full sets of bikes. And after we chatted about it afterwards, we both agreed it was a bike off.
yeah,
And um, the fact that I could get the HRUs into the fight and he couldn't get his in yet gave me the advantage. And I guess something like that sticks in your mind.
yeah,
And we had a good laugh about it afterwards. And we were both, players who've been playing a lot of Blizzard, and we could compare, you know, tactics and
yeah,
and
yeah.
and, and what we'd seen before. Something like that sticks in your mind.
That's cool. Um, and in that, then, what sticks in your mind that you go, God damn, I wish I'd done that differently?
For almost every game you lose, there's yeah, every game you lose. Uh, the 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 in Denmark, I played against Finn, and Finn said to me at the start, "Be aggressive." Um, I was absolutely the opposite. I was super
Oh, was he
passive.
doing
I
German mind games on you?
He wasn't. He was. The problem is he gives such a deadpan
Oh, yes, he does.
delivery. You don't know how to take it sometimes, and he was being honest, and just and he just said, be aggressive. And at, about halfway through, I could see that I totally messed it up, and I regretted every dice roll after that because it could have gone so differently.
Yep, that makes sense. Um, what is your fondest non-game moment or set of memories, as in you've not been playing, but involving the Legion community? What's been quite fun for you and lives up in your head in a happy place?
Oh, I think there's two in particular that really stick in my mind. The one you mentioned when we were all in Germany in that sort of cellar bar. It
It
was
was a small cellar with the karaoke on it, and the Germans love their karaoke. And every third song was some old dude ripping up some
yeah,
sort of old. What was it? Oh, was it? Wow,
some sort of Neil
Glenn.
Diamond or something.
Well, what was the Scottish one he was doing? I was like, why is he playing the Scottish funeral song? But that the yes, but it was that was quite funny, and yeah, and then yeah, so that was highly entertaining.
There was some Germans rapping and all sorts of
Oh,
things going on.
just a small German Asian fella doing Eminem, and when I say
Yeah,
small, I mean small as in he was about 5 foot, but he
yeah.
absolutely killed it. I
It was
was
great. Yeah, it was really good.
so good, so fun.
Yeah,
That
that
was
was
entertaining.
fantastic. And I think the other one was when we were in
Oh, I know what
the
you're going to say.
first
Are you going to
the
say
first
Daventry?
that's yes, the
Oh,
first
yes.
that's no moon Daventry, when we were in that kind of spit and sawdust pub,
Yeah.
um, where Elliot did his amazing karaoke performance,
What
and yeah,
if now, so Elliot's going to, so for context to those people who don't know who Elliot is, Elliot Thomas, who's based out of London, he helped create the Legion Events app thing that people can find events on in the UK, along with Jeff Porritt. He did arguably one of the best performances of any karaoke song I've ever seen in my life. And it was brilliant. And I said that to him. He knows, he's heard me say on the podcast. There's no thing, and I think everyone looks back and goes, "That was brilliant."
yeah.
So I hope that when we're in Chicago, that Ollie has arranged the social night and that Elliot takes part, and that I get to see that again.
I'm
I
looking
want
forward to that.
I
I will
want
definitely be there.
I want the encore. I want round two. I want the sequel. So there's something to, if anyone's attending Worlds, keep that in mind. Speak to Ollie at That's No Moon, and he will help you out with the social night because I know he's already made arrangements. So keep that in mind. If you're not, keep an eye on the social media sites that we operate because I may live stream some of it. Who knows? There we go. Um, what do you do well when you're playing a game? What do you do well against? So your opponent rocks up and they crack out, you're going, yes, please. I want to. What are you happy to play against?
um, Anything pretty much apart from the clone gun line. It's the
Okay.
only thing I'm really not wanting to play is the clone gun line. Uh, my recent losses, I lost a Wookiee battle force. I lost to um, yeah, Vader. Sorry, Palp Double Darks. Um, yeah, and, and each time I've known what I did wrong. I
Yeah.
really did something wrong. The losses before that, which was the Italian Open, um, I was just caught out by the relentless move of the arcs in is it Yoda's two pip, I think.
Yeah. The two pip. I can't remember what it's
Yeah,
called. But the two pip he gives outmaneuver and relentless to
yeah,
himself and another unit, and therefore you can effectively guidance. You would give it to a squad of arcs, for example. You'd
yeah,
guidance a move from them that triggers a relentless that gets the shot off, and that causes lots of problems for people.
yeah, and it caught me out, and that's when a lot. I only lost one game in Italy, and that was the game. And it was literally that turn is what turned it.
Do you know
He
what's
took
fun?
it.
Do you know what's fun to do that with? If you put a decent squad of core troopers for clones on your on as a hostage exchange.
Yeah.
Say it's got a heavy weapon and an extra man or a medic or something like that. You turn two, play that card, assuming they're in range, and when Yoda does his guidance to bring them back with the hostage,
Hmm.
they trigger their attack. So they can get the free attack as well, which is just an extra bit of shenanigans
Okay.
that Yoda can do. Something to keep in mind. I don't think it's not a secret. It's just something that
Yeah.
catches people and go, oh crap, yeah, that exists.
Yeah, I'm not looking forward to playing lots of clones, and I think in the US there's going to be a lot of clones, and the terrain is going to suit them.
It will be interesting. It will definitely be interesting. What do you uh, well, are there any individuals you'd like to avoid? And if so, why? Not that you don't want to play them, but because of maybe reputation or because you know their list will be horrible. Maybe like a Dave Grant style list or something like that.
Well, you're going to Worlds, and you always want to play the best players. So I do actually, if I'm going to go out, if I'm going to get knocked out, I'd rather go out having played one of the big names. Um, Rather lucky that I travel around Europe playing in lots of tournaments, and I've played against the good German players like Finn and Dennis and Johannes, and I've played against the Polish guys, etc. Um,
I like how
the
you
guy.
haven't dropped Andy and Ollie's name in there. It does make me smile.
Well, actually, in the players that I would like to avoid, basically all of Team UK. I don't want to. I don't really want to face Team because I see the guys a lot. I'd rather
Yep.
go and play. I want to play Americans. If I'm going to the US, I'd rather go there and play some of the people who you've heard the names of on different podcasts or being talked about on different
Yeah.
podcasts.
Your Austins, your Kyles, your Luke Cooks, Evan Pauls, all these kinds of people.
Yeah, the names that you hear
Yep, yep,
often,
yep, yep.
and even if you know the guys from Inglorious Blasters, somebody like this who you hear talking, test yourself against some of these guys. Yeah,
Yep.
that's who I'd like to
Fully,
play.
fully on. Yeah, I get what you mean. That makes sense. Um, Bit of fluff now. Fun fact about yourself that other people might not know.
Um, my nickname is Gerb, as
Yes.
in
Why is that?
it's from the uh, Kevin the Gerbil, which was
And
Roland Rat's best mate.
I mean, I'd like to say there'll be some players of a certain age who in the UK specifically, who'll be going, "Oh yeah, I get that," and then there'll be some on the border of going, "I remember Roland Rapp, I can't remember his mate," and that's me. And there'll be others like Mr. Diet who'll be going, "Eh?"
Yeah, so when I was a teenager, I think a children's program at the time was on a Saturday morning was featuring a small puppet called Roland Rat. And yeah, yeah, rat fans. And his little mate Kevin, the gerbil, who just squeaked and was rather dumb.
I actually remember this. The net more. I actually now am remembering this more as you say it now. So go on.
Yeah, so the guys I used to play football with, they just, hey, Kevin the gerbil, come on over here. And then it got shortened to Gerb. And literally through my childhood, I think 90% of people didn't know my name. A little bit like your nickname. Everybody called me Gerb and did not know my real name. Um, Even to the fun fact, we had a gas leak in the house, and so my mother went round to the newspaper shop where I delivered newspapers for to say, "Tell Kevin not to go home today. Go to so and so's house." And the news
Who-
agent said, "We don't have a Kevin working here."
Who's Kevin? Brilliant.
Yeah,
Love that. That is me. That no one knows my. Very few people, I should say, are aware of my actual name. Cockles is a name like I've had since as a child, well, for a teenager, from a TV show in England as well. So same thing,
yep,
same thing.
we have that in common.
Yep. And obviously, you've mentioned you're outside of Amsterdam. Is there anywhere in Amsterdam that you would like to shout out as a local club or a store, and also, well, you said the people who are coming over. or anyone else you'd like to say thank you for support?
Well, mm, I don't play in Amsterdam, unfortunately. I have to go a lot further afield. So
Mhm.
I play regularly in Tabletop Kingdom in Rotterdam, and
Or anywhere, or Rome.
I play in Spell Quartier in Arnhem as well. So Matthias Pels organizes all the organized matches for Tabletop Kingdom, and Yer organizes everything for Spell Quartier. So thanks to those guys. Couple of guys that I play frequently in each other's houses. Tim Jansen, you met
Good old
Tim,
Tim. I did meet Tim and his
uh,
lovely wife as well.
and Martin,
Yep.
Martin Jetten. He arranges a tournament every year here in the Netherlands. It's coming up, I think, in first weekend in June. So big shout out to all those guys.
Cool.
Yeah,
Well, I look forward to seeing you in Chicago, in the Windy City. I look forward to sharing that beer that we will inevitably have over the time. When do you land? When do you touch down?
about 3 o'clock on the Wednesday.
Oh, okay. So that's why yep. So plenty of time to settle in and have an afternoon beer on the Wednesday. So
Absolutely.
I shall see you there. And for those people who don't know who Kevin is, Kev, here he is. Keep an eye out for his alternate Blizzard Force, as we shall call it. But I'm sure there'll be other Blizzard Forces there as well. So thank you very much, Kev. Representing slash not representing Team Netherlands. He's in for both. He's in for both because because he has to be. So there you go. Cool. Thank you very much, Kev.
Exactly. Cheers, Cockles.
That's no moon.